Hello again and welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be revisiting Eminem's Despicable of 2010, where Eminem called out the rap game, sending a warning to rappers who were thinking of stepping up to him because they started gaining some following in the hip-hop scene. We'll be breaking down a series of events that probably led to Eminem releasing Despicable, and also break down some of the best bars in the song. Before we get started, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you enjoy content like this. And don't forget to smash the like button. Likes are free. So similar to what happened with Revival that made many media journalists and rappers think Eminem was done, if you were following what happened after Relapse released, the reception was quite similar, and it was only years later that many began to call Relapse a masterpiece. After Revival released, Eminem had to fire back at his critics with the Chloroseptic remix before Kamikaze released, and in the same way, Eminem released Despicable to serve the same purpose just before Recovery released. If you recall, even rappers like Rick Ross called out Eminem for a battle in 2009, but later changed his tune and talked about collaborating with Eminem while also giving Eminem a shout out in the process. Eminem starts the verse and soon states that anyone who comes up to him must go down.
I come around like what goes around. What goes up must come down. Anyone who comes up must go down.
Eminem here is implying that he is the pinnacle, that is always up there, and the saying what goes up must come down only applies to those who try to step up to him in the rap game. It remains at the top, and since Eminem's reign, we've seen many rappers that have come and gone, but he's still here. Eminem soon talks about how his place in hip-hop as of 2010 was already sealed, and going by the numbers alone, if Eminem retired after Recovery in 2010, to this day, he'll still be at the top in hip-hop based on all-time figures, globally and in the United States.
It'll never be my chair that you own. Ground so tight that it cuts off circulation to the brain. No oxygen, other words, there's no air to the throne.
These are some of the best bars in Despicable, with several layers to it. Overall here, Eminem is talking about how it's impossible for anyone to do what is done in hip-hop, implying that he is the king that can never be dethroned. His crown is so tight that he doesn't get airflow to his brain, and this metaphor is delivered with the heir and heir homonym. The heir to the throne inherits the throne after the king is gone, but Eminem has already made this impossible for anyone to be next in line because he has the rap game locked in airtight, so no oxygen for anyone to have breathing room to step up to his throne. You cease to exist without oxygen, so no one survives long enough to step up. It's quite amazing how these bars stay relevant to this day, where Eminem is still dominating even in 2019 without releasing an album. Eminem follows that up, giving us a description of his influence on the hip-hop genre.
When I die, so does hip-hop. Hitchcock could have shit, bitch ass not got it.
Eminem here compares his influence in hip-hop to that of Alfred Hitchcock in filmmaking, and Hitchcock is regarded as one of the most influential filmmakers in the history of cinema. This comparison is excellent because of Eminem's horrorcore style, and since Hitchcock is known as the master of suspense that changed how thrillers and horror films are made, Eminem nails it with this comparison. Hitchcock was able to maximize anxiety and fear in his movies by using a technique that's now known as the Hitchcockian style, and Eminem in rap music has a style and technique that maximizes the anxiety and fear in other rappers that may be thinking of stepping up to him. The recent example is Kells, who's pretty much trying to the public to change how they view a legend just to give him the win. And remember Kells going into Damage Control when a fan asked him about his beef with Eminem.
Talk to Eminem since you got this beef. How tall are you? Woo! Yeah!
Eminem then continues, stating that his critics ain't been able to fade him since Kid Rock had a high top. Fade in this bar refers to several things and links in perfectly to Kid Rock's high top hairstyle in the early 90s. Barbers fade the sides when caught in a high-top hairstyle, and fade also means to fight, deal with, or punch someone. So Eminem is implying that since the early 90s, his detractors have been failing miserably to bring him down, deal with him, or hit him with anything substantial that can affect his career. We always talk about Eminem bodying rappers on the beat, which led to the word renegading or renegaded in hip-hop, and Eminem describes his ability to do this to rappers as
Flow so wet, I'ma take this beat to bargaining. I'm waterlogging it, I'm sogging it.
Now, there are several layers to this, and the obvious one is the water-related wordplay to describe his delivery on the mic. But Eminem does more than just flow on the beat. Any decent rapper can flow on the beat, so Eminem takes it further to make sure he makes his mark on a song. Tobogganing in that bar is Eminem referring to a long, light, narrow vehicle, typically on runners, used for sliding downhill over snow or ice. That's how he slides effortlessly, but he waterlogs the beat also with his flow so intense that the beat is saturated with water, making it impossible for anyone to perform better on the beat. In football, for instance, even the best players in the world will struggle to perform when the pitch is waterlogged. In agriculture, waterlogging affects crop growth, and if you didn't know, this ties back in with the oxygen wordplay earlier on the song, since waterlogging causes oxygen deprivation or anoxia in crop plants. Eminem is also a gamer, and he's had a couple of wordplays centered on Donkey Kong.
Jackass, eat a donkey dick. The game, I just about conquered it. Like Donkey Kong, I'm bonkers, bitch. I'm the...
Rap is often referred to as the rap game, and Eminem links his Donkey Kong prowess to his skill level in the rap game. Eminem posted his Donkey Kong score on Twitter, a score that would have put him in the top 30 worldwide for Donkey Kong based on the original high score. So Eminem is certainly a master Donkey Kong player in the world and likens this mastery to his skills in hip-hop. Just before the beat changes to the Lloyd Banks instrumental for Beamer, Benz or Bentley, Eminem drops these bars.
Makes no difference whether a Benz, a Bentley, or a Beam is the car you win.
Eminem here is talking about how he reigns in the rap game. Regardless of how successful other rappers have been in the game, he's still on top, as Beamer, Benz or Bentley also signify success. Only the rich and successful are able to afford the top-of-the-line models of those cars, so even the most successful rappers still dwarf in comparison to him as a rapper. Eminem follows this lineup by stating that rappers who think they are ballin' should realize that when they play with him, they are playing with bombs. Hence the bar, I throw up bombs when I vomit. So apart from spitting lyrical bullets, Eminem also spits lyrical bombs. The next bars are also a fan favorite.
Trying to give me the fingers, kinda like giving a spider the web. I'm just gonna spin it and try to use it to my advantage.
We all know what the middle finger is, and Eminem here is stating that if you give him the finger, you're pretty much giving him ammo to shoot you down. A spider spins webs to make itself a home and trap its food. So if you come at him, you're pretty much helping him establish his place in hip-hop, helping him stay comfortable in the game, and keeping his belly full of food. So essentially, you're sacrificing yourself as resources to expand his home in hip-hop at the top, a la Killshot, when an artist made Eminem break hip-hop's 24-hour YouTube record. Remember what 50 Cent tweeted about it? See how Eminem's bars stay relevant to this day. Is prophetic at this point with his punchlines. Spiders spin web, and Eminem will spin your disses at him the same way, just like outlets these days are accused of spinning stories to their advantage to control the narrative. Some CNN-esque move. Eminem adds this just before the conclusion.
I came to cock block like a square fucking melt chicken.
This is simple but also has several layers. The term cock block refers to a person who prevents another person from scoring. I'm talking about scoring in the bedroom to keep this clean. Now, this is what Eminem intends to do to other rappers who come into the game thinking they can take his spot from him. It stops them from scoring. A male chicken is also referred to as a cock, and blocks in buildings are used to define boundaries. So Eminem is the combination of all these things when preventing rappers from scoring in the game and taking his place. He's the wall, the block that represents the limits of other rappers. And Eminem finishes it with this.
'Cause I'm as despicable as Daffy Duck when I'm spitting.
An impression of Daffy Duck's catchphrase.
You're despicable.
So what are your thoughts on this? You can add to this in the comments section below for other bars in the song. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.